Welcome back to the Banter Ball podcast. Let's go. We're here on our regular day of Friday. I'm Korey here with Brennan in very weird lighting, by the way, and Kyle. That's true.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I was gonna say you're automatically sound better. I feel.
Yeah, you do sound a lot better. I will say, true definition of a podcast studio, though. Nobody was anticipating you being on camera in that building. It is dark as can be. Just audio only. Brennan Kirkpatrick has stopped recording. Did you get that notification that Brennan
I did.
Stopped recording?
I guess the internet in here doesn't want to work either. No, I guess if you're listening on Spotify, you won't know that I'm dark, but yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I feel like since your thing crashed and then you joined back, I feel like it looks better somehow. Maybe it looks lighter though.
I can see that.
Now you're on my left side, and now I'm all the way on the right, which is kind of weird.
Hey, but we got Korey in the middle now. He's the host, so
I guess that makes more sense.
Yeah. All right, Kyle, how you doing this week?
Very, very busy. So I'm very excited just to sit down and talk some ball with the boys. You know what I mean? Like I've just been. It's like we're a week before spring break here, so we're just piling on, and like I got family coming up, so.
You boys got any?
We'll talk about ball, but first let's talk about puck. Hey, USA. Kyle, I feel like you'd be the type of person to watch both the women's and the men's game. Did you watch either or both?
I watched portions of both. I did not watch the entirety of each. I was able to see the winning goal for the men's team, which, by the way, shout out to Jack Hughes. He struggled early in the tournament, and the fact that he was the first of all, I said first of all, but like what a pass by Renzi to get the puck to him to get that goal in, because both netminders, both Biddington and Connor Hellebuck, were playing on top of their heads. Like they both played sensational games.
Hellebuck
and the fact,
phenomenal.
Oh my God! Like
Medal of Freedom.
He won the Medal of Freedom from the president, which I mean. And
now he gets to travel, and then he gets to travel back to Canada.
Yeah,
I was saying that the entire game too. Like the two, arguably the two biggest stars on the Team USA are Connor Hellebuck for the Jets and Austin Matthews for the Maple Leafs. So it's just so funny that both of those guys play on Canadian NHL teams, and then
I'm sure both of them are going to get a warm welcome back from both of their fan bases, especially Hellebuck. After his performance.
Look, Connor Hellebuck has been one of the best goaltenders of the last decade.
He's a great talent in the league.
He needed
top five, year in and year out.
He needed some significant award like this in his career, I think, because I mean it was so tough every year seeing him. Like I think back to 2018 when they were in the Western Conference Final against Vegas, and like he also in that series played his heart out, but they just couldn't get it done. So it's good to see a guy like him, just like such a respectable guy, to get an award like that. So, shout out to
100%. I mean, and the Jets aren't anything really to write home about this year, and so it's good for a really solid piece like that to get something like Kyle said. So,
I totally agree. Yes,
can I bring up something else here about the hockey match here? When will Connor McDavid win something big? You're both smiling and laughing at me.
Oh,
but he's been in the league.
That was literally my next statement. Whenever you were talking, it's huge for Hellebuck to do something. I'm like, yeah, but it's kind of funny that one of the superstars, arguably the face of the NHL over the past 5 years, he has nothing at all.
He has nothing. So he won. I think it's the Conn Smythe, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. The MVP of the playoffs. Either a year or two ago against Florida, even though they lost that series. And I was I think we talked about that on the pod when it happened. It was the first time in 20 years that a losing member of the other team won the award.
He does have the Smythe, yeah.
And then sure, he won the Four Nations, and he particularly scored the goal there. But I would argue that's nothing more than an organized thing that the NHL kind of put out. Like, it wasn't.
Oh, that's exactly what it was. I was surprised that was
took the place of the All-Star
as big of a deal as it was.
Yeah, it was a pseudo All-Star game, and I understand the stakes of the country is there. And it's like, you're playing with all the guys.
Like that, a lot more than I thought they were going to. But I think with hockey in general, hockey and soccer are like the big ones that people rally around for, like Team USA and stuff. So it's like, that makes sense. But it is an arbitrary thing, though.
It's in this grander scheme of everything else, of winning Stanley Cups, of winning gold medals in the Olympics, it is kind of arbitrary. And to think that he has been in the league since 2015, he's been in the league for 11 years at this point. And either a combination of I'm not even going to say that, because he has been the best player since he has gotten into the league. Like, pretty unequivocally, he is the best goal scorer in the league, the best everything in the league, and he cannot win anything. And I think you honestly have to consider almost like a John Tavares situation, where you think you've been with this squad for a while, and the fans love you and everything like that, but you have to have some inward thinking of what is the best position for me to do right now in order to win a Stanley Cup. And I don't think it is going to happen in Edmonton. If it does, prove me wrong, but this is such a sad scenario.
And it's kind of tough for me to say that, especially because they've been in the Stanley Cup last year. They made it last 2 years, no?
Yes.
Yeah. They've been in the Stanley Cup the last 2 years. That's farther than they've made it ever in McDavid's career. It's really tough, because what you can't really get rid of, Kyle, you said, and I agree with you, the best player in all of hockey for however many years now, and B, you've known that you can make a Stanley Cup with him. Those Florida teams were filthy, and this year it's kind of unfair the way that the Western Conference is shaking out at the top, and the teams they're going to have to compete against. Colorado is just on a whole nother level. Dallas is still there. Minnesota is still there. Yeah.
That was a rough game they played against Anaheim yesterday. From the day of this recording.
Anaheim's got an up-and-coming squad, too. The top of the Western Conference is just so elite right now. And I just don't know if you're going to be able to get out of it this year. Knowing McDavid, then maybe they will. And I think whoever makes it out of that...
Here's the thing, though, Brennan. It's even if they do make it out, the Oilers have literally not moved at all in the last three. Yes, last 2 seasons they made the Stanley Cup. 2 seasons ago they were third. They were third in the Pacific. Then last year they were second in the Pacific, or maybe it was the opposite. And then this year they're third in the Pacific again. There's nothing really happening to show that anything would change.
What you mean in terms of them winning the Stanley Cup?
Yes.
See, I disagree with you on that, because if they get out of the Western Conference, I think they win theStanley Cup. The East
they've gotten out of the Western Conference the last 2 years, and they haven't won.
So right now, would you say that the Tampa Bay Lightning would beat the Edmonton Oilers in the Stanley Cup?
Toronto would.
Toronto?
Come on.
Toronto's not even going to make the playoffs.
Yes, Toronto was good.
Toronto's not even making the playoffs.
I don't think Toronto's making the playoffs, to be quite honest with you. Yeah.
They're not. That Atlantic division, that's a whole nother conversation, and I will get into it because
they're
terrible right now. They're
in the Atlantic, yes.
Right now. Maybe you're right, but they still have a winning record technically. I don't know, but Toronto was good last year. They were good the year before. Why would they not? I don't know.
But they're also a team that's never ever gotten over.
They got
the hump.
Ruby's just not gotten the squad ready to go.
I guess you're right. I don't trust right now. They're weird right now. The standings are very strange. I mean, Carolina has been good for the past 5 years.
Carolina's low key and I'm gonna compare teams here. They're the Buffalo Bills right now, the NHL. They just can't get past the conference finals, the second round.
They're consistently very good, but they can never get past even the second round of the East. I can't remember them even in the Western or Eastern Conference finals.
For some reason they can't. I don't know. again, whoever makes it out of that Western Conference is winning the Cup this year. I mean, you could say the same thing in the NBA. You could say the same thing here. The West is just the better conferences right now. And if Edmonton gets out of it, and I think that's where they're going to be caught up this year. I mean, again, I mentioned the teams earlier. Colorado is off to one of the best starts you've ever seen. Dallas has been to the Stanley Cup before in the past 5 years. Minnesota is a team that's always going to challenge you. They have some great pieces out there. Vegas has been in the Stanley Cup in the last 5 years. Like the top of that Western Conference is so elite right now. It's going to be tougher for them to get out of that conference than it is for them if they are in the Stanley Cup to win. I just don't know a realistic threat to Edmonton if they make it past the Western Conference in the East, because that shows you've beaten the best of the best, and now it's kind of like a Seahawks Super Bowl this year, almost. Like I'm going back to the NFL comparing it again, but the Patriots just had a cakewalk, and the Rams Seahawks, let's be honest here, that was the real Super Bowl. Like I that's my opinion on Edmonton. I think McDavid, we'll see. I don't like their odds, but again, if they make the Cup this year, I'm almost certain that they win.
I'm just saying, I'm not sure what year he is on his contract. I would assume he's probably locked in for some amount of time. If either of you want to look that up, but like,
yeah, I got you.
I just
2-year contract kicked in 2025, so he's here through 20. He's there through the 2027-2028 season.
So I mean, you have. Because I'm not sure who would want to buy
it. So 2 more years after this one.
I'm not sure who would want to buy out that contract, because I would assume he's getting paid. He's probably the highest paid player in the league, right?
It's 2-year, $25 million extension, so he's getting $12.5 million.
That is, I don't know who in the NHL, unless they are like
Matthews
going for gold. Is it Matthews who's making the most?
He might be. There's a couple guys that are making more than 12 million, because Rasmus Dahlin on the Sabres is making 11 million.
Yeah, this is tough.
Leon Draisaitl, he's making around 14 million. So his teammate, basically. Matthews and McKinnon are making more than McDavid's for.
Yeah, Draisaitl 14, Matthews, McKinnon.
Well, my point is that he's one of the highest paid players in the league, and I doubt anyone, even if they wanted his service, like they would want to pay for that money.
If you're Edmonton, you just don't get rid of a guy like that ever.
But I'm also just saying I'm not even just saying organizationally wise. I'm just saying like personally, like how could you genuinely be on a team for like the last decade like that, and they've just had the same story. I guess they've gotten very close the last 2 years, and I mean, play this in June and maybe they won the whole thing. But like,
I mean,
it's strange for me.
Ask Dame Lillard how that turned out for him.
Oh yeah.
Look at Mike Trout.
Yeah,
that's another. I could go on about that.
Mm-hmm. In the NHL, though, I mean, like I don't know, like I don't watch enough hockey to know if it's as much of like a star-driven league as other sports. But like I feel like Connor McDavid is like one of the superstars, if not the superstar of the NHL. So he's
one of the faces.
Like I agree with you, Brennan, that like if I'm Edmonton, I'm never moving on from him. Like that's never going to happen. And
it's almost like a Crosby thing with Pittsburgh. Like, are the Penguins ever going to move on from Sidney Crosby? No, I mean,
but it's
first
also
of all, right now he's still playing at an elite level.
But the thing is that the Penguins, like, I from my understanding, like those titles, those back-to-backs that they got, like they were like a well-oiled machine. It wasn't just Crosby at all.
Yes, it was top to bottom.
So it's like if Edmonton won't ever get rid of Connor McDavid, they need to have more.
I agree. It starts from management bringing guys in.
Patrick Hornquist.
Let's be honest
here. I
mean, Leon Draisaitl is top 10 player in the league. Nugent Hopkins, when he comes back, he'll be another valuable piece. Like I'm pretty sure Edmonton is like pretty injured right now, so they're missing some core pieces. When that gets back, and I don't know how Jari is doing over there. No.
He got pulled. That's why I said he got pulled yesterday against the Ducks. That's why I said it was such a bad game for them. He got pulled at a tied game 5-5, I think. I mean, I don't look up his like save percentage since being traded, but he has not been, at least comparatively to how Skinner's played for Pittsburgh. It's been
Skinner's been like
kind of night and
balling.
day. He's been doing
that
pretty
was
good.
Like a pretty even trade. That was like, how does that trade move the needle? And I guess Kyle Dubas. First of all, I mean, if you want to go on a tangent here, Kyle, I'm sure you could talk about this. He's done a tremendous job with the Penguins. Like
he's done a phenomenal job in the last like year because they were really bad last year at this point. It was just like try to get a good draft spot, try to do this, and now they have one of the best young guys in the league in Ben Kindle, and I think I saw somewhere that I think they have the biggest like draft capital in the next like decade or so in the first 2 rounds or something like that. So I mean, like if they, I know the trade deadline for hockey is not until I think the 6th of March. So if they and with Crosby out, they may want to trade for
that's in a week,
a center or something like that. Yeah, they have another week to make some decision like that. So they've already been trading some of the guys. They traded the defenseman they got in that trade with the Oilers to Minnesota for someone else and a second round pick. So like they're already making moves. So who's to say that they maybe go for someone else? We'll see. I'm kind of excited. The Penguins actually have decent.
They're playing. I mean, again, I mentioned it earlier. Crosby's just that dude doesn't age apparently, and as long as he's playing at a high level, not playing even at like a mediocre level, I feel like the Penguins are always going to be in playoff contention for the rest of his years. But
you said he's out right now, Kyle. How long is he out for?
I think at least a month because he got hurt in the Olympics. Yeah, but it's tough. Me and Brennan were talking before the show how tough their schedule is coming up, Pittsburgh, and all just like until the playoffs. Like it is, I think, either the hardest or one of the hardest schedules, like points wise. Because I know they still have to play like Carolina twice, still have to play Colorado twice, they still have to play Vegas a few times. But I would like to think that they're already in a spot.
Yeah,
good. I think they're second, and they're tied for second in the Metro, where they could even just kind of semi-float, and they are going to be good enough for Crosby to come back and then lead them to victory.
I think they play 500 hockey. The thing is, and if you asked me this earlier before the Olympics, like a month or so out, I would have been like, if Crosby got hurt then, it would have been like, well, Penguins are 100% okay. Like, they don't need to worry at all. They're in a great spot. The rest of that Metro is kind of caught up. So the Caps are, 3? Actually, you can't even really say that. The Pens have 4 games in hand on Washington right now. They're the next team up. But looking at a team like Columbus, that's maybe on the rise. So the rest of the Metro is kind of picking up the slack a little bit. Like Columbus is there, Washington. I mean, don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you got 5 teams.
But they're still in a pretty solid and comfortable spot there. Now, you do have to watch out with the Islanders. I guess that's who you're competing with right now. I guess for first home ice advantage in the first round.
Yeah. With their history in the last few years, I would not want to play the Islanders in the playoffs. So
yeah. Well, but we'll see. I mean, the rest of the Eastern Conference is all the Atlantic Division, and it's the best. I'd argue
they're all pretty good, aside from Toronto.
Toronto,
and Florida. Funnily enough,
Florida is the worst team in that conference right now. They have
so 61. Crazy to think about.
Aside from Toronto, you guys are such haters. I'm a Toronto believer. I'm serious. I really am. I've watched
not after their head coach had a gash in his forehead like that.
I don't know what it was, but Toronto dominated. I'm telling you right now, they're good.
No. I am. That is my least favorite hockey team in the NHL.
The Toronto
it's one of my least favorites too.
I do not like the Toronto Maple Leafs. I despise them. I hate them. I am so happy they are bad right now. I am so happy that the little brother Buffalo Sabres are absolutely destroying them right now. We're 9 points above them. When was the last time that happened? No, I'm just kidding. We've actually owned the Maple Leafs like historically. So, but yeah, no, I don't like them. Their fans take over the KeyBank Center.
You own the Maple Leafs just like the U.S. is going to own Canada after that dominant Olympic victory. 51st state. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't believe in this. Anyway, but anyway, awesome victory for Team USA and exciting rest of the NHL season. That's what's funny about the Winter Olympics as a whole is like it always like puts attention back on the NHL because like I swear like the Super Bowl happened, everyone was like, oh, let's see what's going on in the NBA.
I agree.
Everyone's tanking in the NBA. Let's go into the NHL because the Olympics are happening, you know. So, yeah.
Don't even get me started with the NBA. I mean,
let's get started with the NBA anyway. Let's do it.
No, let's talk. Let's honestly talk about this because it's so strange to me that even because I think baseball has a lottery
yeah, they
draft
have a lottery system now.
And is it this? How similar is it to the NBA? I do not know.
I'm not too sure off the top of my head. So I know they have
the
some
MLB draft
rules.
means almost nothing. You don't understand how little prospects actually like do anything.
And there's also
the amount of like sub leagues that they
there's
have.
Also
in the MLB does not have that much weight.
There's also 400 rounds in the MLB draft, so I mean that is kind of fair.
I think there's like 7.
Oh, really? But I mean, up to this point, there was like 40.
No, there's no longer 40. Actually, I think there's 20 now.
Well, they also got 7 from. They also cut one of the minor leagues in the last like 2 years.
Yeah, there's 20.
Like that's still too much.
Realistically, dude, you take 26. What, you have 26 guys on the roster. You need another 26 for AAA. You need another 26 for AA. Another 26 for high. Another 26 for single A. Like
that is besides the point we're trying to make.
Yeah. Well, I don't understand. Okay. Well, I was just telling you, you're not comparing apples to apples there at all. Like,
sure, but I was just trying to bring up the idea is that there are other leagues, particularly in the U.S., in Canada, or whatever, North America, that have lottery drafts that don't have these systemic issues that we have been seeing now in the NBA the last like 8 years, and it's only gotten compoundingly worse.
I will say, I was talking about with hockey earlier that I don't know how much of a star-driven league it is. The NBA is a star-driven league, and you have at least 4 superstars. I would argue probably 5 with that guy out of Arkansas. Like you got 4 or 5 superstars in this draft, and so everyone's just going to immediately care.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, like it's a whole different world now, basically. Like you're seeing Darren Peterson do load management at the college level.
Oh my god, that makes me.
That's ridiculous.
You know who that made?
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Smith. I watched a lovely Stephen A. Smith video the other day of Stephen A. Smith being like, "I would never draft Peterson if you're not going to play in a college." I'm like, okay, awesome.
It's like but like
why?
To both your points. Okay, look, to both your points, again, at what point does this compound? At what point are we like, okay.
This is compounded now. I mean, Adam Silver said there is going to be a change this year.
Sure.
We don't know what it is, but they pitched like 10 different things, and they're like pretty major.
There were talks about getting rid of the draft.
Which is crazy, by the way.
That's absurd.
Okay, let's be real. There were talks by Kendrick Perkins of getting rid of him. like I understand some people pitched
Big Perk, baby.
The person who laughs about it is the same person who keeps talking like Jaylen Brown is the #1 MVP leader right now, and he's not. Like ESPN is talking about Jaylen Brown like he's the MVP because Kendrick Perkins keeps saying that.
Who is it? I mean, the issue is that all the guys who would win it otherwise are either ineligible because of the injuries.
All of them are close, but none of them actually are ineligible. But now, Shea is eligible. Shea is the front runner. Jokic is back, and he's close to the restriction.
I think he can only miss one more game. I think he can only miss one more game.
You might be
which
right,
is crazy.
So I'm checking my odds market right now, aka Kalshi. Shea has a 71% chance of winning the MVP, followed by Jokic, Cade Cunningham, and then Victor Wembanyama is 4th. Jaylen Brown has a 2% chance of winning the MVP.
So what are the chances?
Right.
Hold on. Alex Caruso has it is he having that good of a season?
I like Alex Caruso. I wouldn't be against that.
He's 6 for MVP odds.
Stop.
Why not?
That's because the odds are just because people are. What do you mean? Why not? It's just because people are paying to have Alex Caruso.
Which is okay.
This is an alphabetical order. Everybody who has a 1% chance is just listed alphabetically. Because the names after Caruso, Davis, Anthony Edwards, Ahmed Thompson, Andrew Nembhard.
But Brennan. Here's the thing. Starting today, I will be endorsing Alex Caruso as my MVP vote.
I like it.
Alex Caruso healthy right now? I don't think he is. I don't think he's.
Who cares?
Yeah, he did not play yesterday. He did not play.
Who cares? It's only one game.
Huh?
It's only one game. He's not on the injury. He's not listed on the injury report as of 2 hours. He's playing tonight. He's not on the injury report.
He's missed more than 17 games. He cannot win the MVP. Alex Caruso.
That's a damn shame.
I'm with Kyle on this. Make Alex Caruso the MVP.
No longer on this train. It is only you, Brennan. Okay, but honestly, if we are seeing the injuries and the load management or whatever that we are seeing in the NBA by this time next month or sometime in April, at what point is it just essentially going to be like a one-man race between the Cade Cunningham and a Jaylen Brown? Like, that just is an interesting thought to just like kind of throw out there. I feel there's so many of the guys that you would expect to win it. If they have an ankle sprain or something and they're out for a week, and
one of them's going to be fine. Like I understand Cade is probably more of a front runner than Luka, but Luka's still in there. Jokic is in there. Shea's in there. One of them is going to be above.
Well, Cade's on the best. Cade's on the best team in basketball right now. So I mean, like,
understood. I think the because the Bontemps poll came out and it's only 100 people, but that's usually the biggest predictive of the MVP winner because they take like a good sample size of like actual potential MVP voters, and that had Shea 1, Wemby 4, and those were like the two that he thought would probably be competitive. And then it's Jokic 2, Cade 3, Luka 5, and Jaylen Brown 6 is what voters are actually voting right now. And then Kawhi Leonard 7. Yeah.
The claw.
And honestly, Kawhi Leonard is like a bit more of a competitor than like people think. Like if other people like miss more games, he's having an incredible season.
He's having a good year.
Look at his numbers. Sure. It's just that the Clippers are barely 500 and like fleeting around not being 500.
I like the little squad Los Angeles is trying to put together out there. I think it could be something.
It's interesting to watch. I will say it was kind of sad during that Lakers game whenever it's like, okay, they were playing great and then end of the game, like Benedict Mathurin fouls out and Kawhi Leonard is out of the game because he got hurt.
I'm sorry. That was the first NBA game like I actually sat down and like watched in a very long time. I think since probably the opener between the Pacers and the Thunder, that like actually like watched an NBA game. And
there have been good games this week. Specifically with the Pistons. Pistons played the Spurs.
I've been on the college grind. I've been watching a lot of college hoops.
The Pistons played the Spurs and the Thunder this week.
Yeah, no, but I turned that Clippers-Lakers game on, and like a little bit of my background, I'm I go to Penn State. I'm around the Penn State basketball team. I do write about the team, and I turn the game on, and the first thing I see is Yannick Conan-Niederhauser getting a flagrant on LeBron James, and I'm thinking to myself, what has this world come to? Like, I have sat down, I have talked to this guy, and he is fouling LeBron James in the biggest stage of the – pretty hard, too. I mean, yeah, they had to go and review it. The biggest flop by LeBron James – actually, not the biggest because he does flop, but, like, a pretty big flop on his end, too, by the way. I'm just saying.
He can't stay up. He can't.
I guess not.
What does LeBron weigh at this point? Like LeBron weight
280.
Okay, he's only at 250 now, but still his 250-pound body is too frail. He He can't hold his weight.
No, but then I turn it on, and my one roommate goes, "Is Yannick playing?" And then we see him like draw the first thing that's on the TV. I'm like, "Come on, Yannick! Like, dude, you're my favorite player of the Western Conference right now. You got to do that right."
Anyway,
what are we doing?
Listen, why are we talking about Yannick Niederhauser? My bad.
Why not?
Well, why are we talking about him? Anyway, let's talk about the actual teams because, yes, there have been good games in this past week because in the East, Knicks played the Cavs, and then Pistons were playing cross-conference against the Spurs.
Yeah, the Knicks played the...
Those are big. And then the Thunder played the Cavs, too, and won with, like, nobody.
Yeah, OKC's been hurt. Yeah. They've been hurting.
Yeah, they had like nobody, and they beat Cleveland. They did lose to Detroit, but but yeah, I mean, people are very, very satisfied with how Cason Wallace is playing this season, which is pretty cool. I don't know. I'm getting like Jordan Poole vibes from Cason Wallace. It's like, yeah, he can score whenever you're in like a really good.
Probably will be traded,
and then somebody's going to give him too much money. Somebody dumb like Washington is going to give him too much money. And I'll tell you who that team probably is this time around. It's probably going to be New Orleans because they are now the dumbest team in the league, in my opinion. The New Orleans Pelicans. Yeah. After that weird stuff that they did in the draft last year, trading for Derek Queen, trading their next year draft pick.
Right?
For Derek Queen.
So like what? So it's not even that they're tanking. They're just a bad.
No, they just suck.
They're just so bad.
Zion Williamson is playing like almost every game. He's playing a lot, and he's playing fine. They're terrible. They're so bad.
For the first time in Zion's career when he's been like reasonably healthy and actually playing decently.
Bro's trying to get traded. He's like, I don't.
He's got to get out there, dude. There are just some. This goes for every sport. There are just some teams that they're always gonna be bad, no matter like what you do. They're just not gonna be good ever. I mean, the Pelicans are one of those teams. You could have the talent.
Zion Williamson is tired of listening to jazz music. He's ready to get out of New Orleans, and he does not want to play for a terrible team anymore.
Yeah,
it's just okay. Again, if I want to get back on topic, because by the way, we have
the Pelicans are on a 2-game winning streak, though.
They are now a solid 17-42. They're a very solid 17-42.
That's a little too close to the Pacers' record for my comfort right now.
Speaking of which, did you see that the Cavs lost to the Bucks yesterday or 2 days ago? Because and it was straight up because they just didn't play like James Harden or Donovan Mitchell.
Isn't James Harden going to be out for a while now?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long is it? I don't think a while. How long is Harden out for?
They gave up Garland and
minimal time. He's
couple days. He's gonna be okay.
He's day to day right now. He's
okay.
Literally.
So I was gonna say, like,
they didn't want to.
They gotta pull some games out without him. That was a big piece that they need to go on a run here. And I mean, I'm sorry, no one from the Eastern Conference is winning the NBA chip this year. But
really, you don't think so?
I don't think so. No. Do you see the West?
I think you're wrong.
You're going to tell me San Antonio or Oklahoma, when Oklahoma City is fully healthy.
I think if San Antonio. I think if San Antonio wins the West, which they could, I don't think they will win the championship. I don't care who comes out.
I think they will. I mean,
the only team that could come out of the East that I think San Antonio would beat is Cleveland.
Really?
Yes, I think Boston. I think Boston would win. I think Detroit would win.
You think Boston would beat San Antonio right now? Okay. Boston 100%. with a Jason Tatum. I agree.
Yes,
with a Jason Tatum. Without him, no.
But we're anticipating him being back right now.
Okay, so if he's back, then yeah, I would take the Celtics to make the NBA championship, possibly win.
Celtics can win. Pistons can win. And
I just think the Pistons are too inexperienced, and I know San Antonio is too, but Victor Wembanyama is like a top 3 player on the face of this planet right now.
What? Well, you cut out.
Wembanyama's if I had to choose between who's going to lead a team to a chip, Cade or Wemby, I'm taking Wemby. Like,
but it's just a little bit more established. I think Detroit would beat San Antonio. I think it would be good, but I think they would.
That'd be a great series.
I mean, yeah, it'd be fun.
It'd be very fun.
Back-to-back years with like a good NBA Finals. Like, I would tune into a Spurs Pistons. Like, that'd be sick.
Everyone loves New York until they lose a game, and then everyone hates New York.
Like again,
New York is a good team.
New York's a solid team.
Good.
They are
Finals again. I don't trust them enough to win. They could win the title.
They are one of the teams. Like I have like a set list of teams that like I will not trust you no matter what until you actually win it. Like I will not put my faith. I will not put my chips down on this team until I see actual.
This current Cleveland team, especially now that they added James Harden, I'm like, yo, like you're good until playoffs happen, and then I don't care.
The Knicks, in my opinion, their saving grace is that the last couple of years Thibodeau just couldn't get him over the hump. They replace him, bring in Mike Brown.
Does Mike Brown move?
No, he doesn't. Did you see that Mike
he
Brown?
may not move the needle right now.
Karl Anthony Towns shot the ball 5 times when Jalen Brunson was shooting like 20% from the freaking field, and they were like, "Yeah, let's have our big man. Let's have our like All NBA first team caliber. He's not going to make first team, but caliber big man. Let's have him shoot the ball 5 times." And guess what? He made all 5 of his attempts. He made all 5.
See it until it comes to the playoffs. I mean, look, some coaches get it done, some don't.
Mike Brown has like no playoff experience.
Mike Brown ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, like
why are you putting your faith in this Knicks team?
I'm not putting my faith in this Knicks team, but I'm saying this is a new regime that they have in New York. You gotta give them a year.
My bad, Brennan. Mike Brown coached the 2005 to 2010 Cleveland Cavaliers. You know who was on that team? No one. Not a single player. Not a single person.
LeBron
James, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, and that was it.
Not even Ilgauskas was old. Shaq played. Like 38-year-old Shaq.
Twilight Shaquille O'Neal, yeah.
Dude,
was he seriously on the? He was on the Cavs?
Yeah, the year that they made the finals, I think. Actually, I think he was on the team.
Why is
against
that
San Antonio?
Celtics Shaq is.
I think. Hold on.
Well, because Celtics Shaq was the actual end of his career.
I know, but like,
yes,
Cleveland Shaq, dude, like. What are we doing here? He's not Terrell Owens.
He was not in the NBA Finals, but he did play. All right, don't worry. Mike Brown did coach Shaq on the Cavs from 2009 to 2010. He coached Shaq. Anyway, I don't know what you're talking about with Mike Brown as the saving grace or with Tom Thibodeau.
I'm not saying he's the saving grace. I'm saying we haven't seen him coach this Knicks team in the playoffs yet.
Tom Thibodeau is one of the best basketball minds that we've seen in the last decade, just like Mike D'Antoni was one of the best basketball minds that we've seen in the last decade. I'm sorry that no matter how good you build your system, guys like Jalen Brunson are not inherently good enough to win you a title. I'm sorry. They built a system around him, made him work, and he has made himself better because of how good he is, but because of how much hard he works and how good he is. His teammates love him, and they have a great bond there. They just are not inherently. There's no real talent there that is good enough to win a title.
They have plateaued, I think.
Mikal Bridges is not good enough to win a title. It's just not the case. I'm sorry.
Sure, it may be the players aren't. But I'm saying a lot of the last 2 years against the Pacers, and maybe more so 2 years ago than last year, can be attributed to the coaching of Thibodeau. And we'll just have to wait and see this year. See what happens. I'm not defending Mike Brown by any means necessary.
The whole reason why the Knicks play with insane offensive rebounding, with insane pace, the way that they do is because of the system that Tom Thibodeau put in place to begin with. That's why the Chicago Bulls teams that he coached were great. That's why the Jimmy Butler Minnesota teams were great. Tom Thibodeau is a good NBA coach. The Knicks are not good enough.
Maybe they're not, but time will tell. and they got a new head coach. We'll
But
see if he moves the needle.
Regardless, I don't necessarily agree with your statement that whoever's coming out of the West is going to win, because I do think that San Antonio could come out of the West. I do think
ultra likely.
I do think that San Antonio could come out of the West. I do think Houston could come out of the West. I do think Minnesota could come out of the West if things happen. I don't necessarily think that those teams could win a title.
He slid in Houston. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I was going to say, he slid in Houston real nice there, didn't he? Slid in Houston real nice with a 39-year-old Kevin Durant. Yeah, get out of here.
Hey,
There's no way.
Did you watch us dominate the Kings yesterday? Awesome.
Oh, dude, put me in a Rockets.
Beat the Rockets. First of all, that can't happen.
Reed Shepherd made like 9 threes.
You see this? Hold on. I gotta get rid of the notification. We are trying to lose right now, and you guys are out here beating the Kings. What is going on?
59-42. Hey, he's talking about the Pacers. Look, Korey, put me in a Rockets jersey against the Kings. I'm shooting some threes. I'm not making them, but I'm trying my best.
Russell Westbrook would rock your shit, Kyle.
No, he wouldn't. He would. I would get some ISO shots. I would get some ISO shots.
I will say, can we please talk about Russell Westbrook and the type of player that he is? Just for a brief side tangent. I love Russell Westbrook now. I used to not care about him. He tries so hard all the time, and he's literally so good. He's so good at getting triple-doubles, at just getting rebounds. He's a workhorse, and he's never going to win an NBA title, and that's unfortunate.
That is kind of a shame.
Yeah.
But I love Russell Westbrook as a player. He's so cool. Anyway,
I think it's hard to hate him, I feel. Particularly recently in his career. Like, he's just kind of been bouncing around.
Recently because he just tries so hard. Like, he never would have left OKC if things weren't literally so barren. Like, after the Carmelo Anthony, Paul George stuff, like, he's like, all right. And then he's just been bounced around from team to team and, ended up with LeBron. Not good at happening. But anyway.
Lakers, Russell Westbrook, we leave in the past, I think.
We will leave that far away. But anyway, yeah, I think the West is, like, so competitive right now that, like, a team could get hot, win the conference, and then not be good enough to beat, like, Boston or Detroit. Like, but Detroit and Boston are the two teams that I trust the most in the East right now.
I mean, it's Boston with Tatum. I trust Detroit to make it out. I don't know what other team in the East is. I just don't trust them if you're going up against a Wemby, if you're going up against a Shea.
Here's the reason why I say this. Again, I think in the West, there are so many teams that if they get hot, they can make it out of the West. I don't think you have a team like the Indiana Pacers in the East from the past 2 seasons that is going to get hot and do that without necessarily being ready anymore. The only teams that I think could do that are Orlando, one. And Orlando, the only reason they're so low right now is because of how many injuries they've had. So, and also I don't think it will happen. But even if they do, I think they're more solid than people think. And Toronto is also a little bit older than they, like, even though they seem as a young team, they have guys who have been, like, established in the league for a good while. Like, Brandon Ingram has been in the league for
Toronto's
a long time. So it's like
props to them.
So it's like, even if those teams for some reason get hot and come out of the East, which they won't, but even if that happens, I trust them more than I trust, like, Golden State coming out of the West, or Minnesota, like. Rudy Gobert got suspended again. Like what's happening? Like, Minnesota is weird. I don't trust them, and they could get hot in the playoffs and make the finals, and then they're gonna get swept by Detroit. Like, it's just, that's just the way it is in my mind. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
but I don't know. It's fun though. I mean, but again, the only, like, really solid teams I see in the West, and when I say solid, I mean consistent, are OKC and Denver. That's it. Those are the only teams that I say are heavily consistent.
Yes, I would agree with that statement.
Everyone else,
that's a very easy statement to make, though, I feel. It's just like they've been the best too.
I mean, we didn't even talk about. Yeah, I think we went this entire conversation without talking about Denver. I mean, they're still there. Jokic is
but San Antonio is about to be the 1 seed, though. And if San Antonio is the 1 seed and they beat who freaking ever is going to be the 8 seed, freaking LA, like the Clippers, who cares? And then like if San Antonio could easily make the finals because like that could happen, and then they're not going to win because they're too young, they're not ready, you know.
But Detroit's not too young.
No.
I mean, I get Cade. Cade's a little older than Wemby, but I feel like the talent's already there.
Think about it this way. Let's look back at the 90s NBA. Whenever Michael Jordan was absolutely dominating and he was getting really good in the late 80s, you looked at him, and that was a team where people were like, great, these Bulls teams could come out of the East. Why weren't they coming out of the East? Because they were losing to the Detroit Pistons, and because they didn't have a really great second guy yet. And then the second Scottie Pippen got it, boom, like that. Jalen Duren is here. And he is going to make that happen. They have enough guys around them to make this happen. They have a Kevin Huerter. They have a Duncan Robinson. They have enough guys to make this happen. Detroit is more established than far more established than San Antonio is. I mean, they had playoff experience last year. It didn't go the way they would have liked it, but Detroit is ready. I do think Detroit is probably, other than Boston, especially with Tatum, Detroit is my favorite to come out of the East other than Boston. So it's like,
yes.
Sure, but I mean, like, and I get that, like, Detroit has some great pieces, but it's not like San Antonio doesn't either. I mean, De'Aaron Fox is there. He has experience. He was on
awesome, and
he was on those Kings teams that were good. I mean, you're looking at the rest of the roster. It may not be as deep, but he got some guys.
That's where you're wrong, Brennan. The Spurs are deep. They have plenty of guys. They're great. Dylan Harper coming out of the draft this past year, like Harper's off the bench. He's played
Castle.
Great. Castle is literally amazing. Like, I love Stephon Castle. He's awesome. But
Harrison Barnes is. He's Harrison Barnes. He's going to be a solid player. Like,
I understand that. Yes, I just don't think they're ready to win a championship right now. Their coach is super young. Their team is super young. I just don't think it's going to happen yet. And also, I mean, you never know. I mean, come playoff time, they're going to be working Wembanyama super hard, and the second that happens is the second he gets hurt. Like, I don't know. I mean, his body's built to be good at basketball. His body's not built to play basketball.
That's fair. But
whenever you get past like 7'2", your body it's too much.
And the amount of movement that he does, like, oh man,
it's too much mass. It's it's like the square cube law. It's just like how traumatically increase like your muscle, the retention for that, and
which is why a center like Alperen Şengün is the prime center for.
Oh my god!
I'm serious. From build wise, he's the perfect height, perfect weight, and he has all the post moves that Jokic has. He has the passing ability. He's the prototypical center. Not a guy. Not a guy like Alex Sarr or a guy.
Keep dreaming. Oh wow! Yeah, good. Okay, nice job winning the debate between Alex Sarr and Alfred Şengün. All right.
Wow.
Okay.
What a comparison.
Nice job.
Build-wise, I was just saying, Alex Sarr.
Congratulations on winning that debate.
You know what? Joel Embiid does not have the build to be.
I agree with this statement.
You know why I know that? You know why I know that? Because he's gotten injured 40 times. Anthony Davis doesn't have the build to be an NBA center. You want to know why? Well, one, because he wants to be a power forward, and two, because he gets injured all the time.
Day-to-day Davis.
Like, that's just how it is. Guys like Jokic are built to play every single game. Guys like Şengün are built to play every single game. That's just how it is. That's how the NBA center is.
That's just the way it is.
It's life in the NBA.
Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. But it's very interesting in the NBA, and that's why it's kind of sad. Like, we talked about tanking and stuff and how that's deterring people from watching the NBA. The top of the league is great right now. It's awesome.
But it's just so bad. There's no talk simultaneously admit
it's just
that
so bad at the bottom that has become the headline. It's just like whenever
like historically bad. Like
when Philly was tanking however many years ago, like a decade ago, and everyone was like, process is the number. Like, that was everyone was talking about that. But the top of the league is really good right now, guys. Like, it's really interesting.
But again, it's just hard to but we are seeing levels of tanking that we did not even know were possible.
Yeah,
and there's no apparatus to really punish them in a correct way, I feel.
Not yet.
No, there's no correct way. The Pacers were unfairly fined money because of an Aaron Naismith injury that the NBA wanted him to play through.
I did see that. That is kind of crazy. They're like, can you just drug him up, please, so he can play? Which
like, no, he's actually injured.
The one time that
there's so much stuff. Like, we've got the teams polling players for the second half of games, and they're like, no, this guy who's injured, play through it. You know,
I guess that's just the state it's gotten to.
But it's just like, how does this get fixed? Well, I honestly like.
Hey, so let's talk about that. So let me pull up the list of NBA.
I saw a cool thing that Charles Barkley said, and he said that if you are under 500, you cannot increase your ticket prices, which I think is. I mean, I don't know how you would enforce that, but kind of an interesting idea, because the issue is that at some point they probably don't even really care about making a decent basketball team. They just want the profit of the experience, right? So
the teams that are tanking care about having a good basketball team. Utah is not making enough money that they're like, oh, let's make more money. No, they want to have AJ.
I'm just saying, I would just argue inherently, I think
there are a couple organizations here that, like Korey said, they are being strategically very smart.
Indiana is not doing this just so that people come to their games more.
I would
fan base. They want
sure, but inherently, how could you, like, if I'm selling this product to you and saying we have not won anything in the last 14 attempts like the Pelicans just did, or it was the Kings.
Yeah, but the Kings tried. They're dumb. The Kings haven't been taking. The Kings traded.
Sure, I'm just saying inherently, how could you argue that this product is worth?
Punish the Kings right now. The Kings are so bad, and they try to be good. And
but they have Russell Westbrook.
Team anymore. They suck.
They're bad. They suck. So we should punish them more. Here's how this works, right?
Hey, you're back. You can't have any more players.
I think it's got to be a force.
Look, with the idea of floating no draft. I mean, I would argue that is a punishment.
Okay, can we please talk about the real ones? Here's the list of what the NBA specifically talked about. First one: first round picks can only be protecting top 4 or top 14. That is fine. It's a very
I would just throw out the idea of protecting first round picks in general, because I think even with those protections, like you're still being given too much leeway.
It's just like the reason why they're doing that is because like Utah, if they're like top 7 protected right now, I'm pretty sure. So they're they can't just be in the lottery. They need to lose a lot. So they're saying, hey, either only protect top 4 or top 14.
Exactly. When it was, so correct me if I'm wrong, when the Pelicans traded that pick to get Derek Queen, was that a fully unprotected first round pick?
Unprotected first.
Oh my God. Okay. In the universe, let's think of a universe where that was
Derek Queen, who, by the way, like Derek Queen's great, but they're
not worth a unprotected first round pick.
No, maybe he is. Maybe Derek Queen's the next MVP. Anyway, he was projected to possibly still fall to them in the draft. He still could have gotten him.
Okay, but let's think of this scenario where that pick in that trade was like top 8 protected, right? Like, I think that
the Pelicans are fucking terrible.
I think in that scenario, you're not as incentivized to like put all your chips into one basket, right? I think that should be
exactly, and that's what this is doing. This is being like, hey, you can still protect your picks, but it's either you're good or you're bad. Now the problem is that makes it so that nobody who's like on the fringe of the play-in is going to want to win a play-in game. Your play-in is now ass because nobody wants to do that. But the top, like getting rid of like top 8 protections makes sense. That's fine. I just feel like it doesn't do enough either.
Continue.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Lottery. Okay, this is the one that I've heard a lot. Lottery odds freeze at the trade deadline or just some specific date. So then nobody has any reason. Yeah, have you not heard this? And then
I have heard of just having flat odds for the lottery, which I don't hate inherently, but I think being able to freeze it at that moment, I think plays into a lot of other things that a franchise would do later on.
It just changes when tanking happens. Instead of having Jaren Jackson Jr. undergo surgery right now, great, you're going to have him undergo surgery in the summer, and then he can't come back until January, and then and then it's great, So we suck enough that we get a lottery pick, but now we play, and then the thought is like if they win out, like if there's a team that for whatever reason wins out and makes the playoffs, then great, you just swap them with the next team.
Well,
that's the
also, like I always see this example from the PWHL, the Professional Women's Hockey League, where it's like once you are automatically eliminated from the playoff contention,
I was gonna bring this one.
Okay, you have to win games to then get a better draft position once you are eliminated, which inherently is an interesting idea. But what is no? But like personally, from what I'm thinking is like what is stopping like a team like Utah or whatever from absolutely sucking,
and then crushing.
No. Yeah, and then like just completely sucking until like they're eliminated like in like early February.
Great, and then now they got to win games and they're awesome. They're they're so good.
But I feel like that's incentivizing just losing like immediately.
Well, and that's where I'm at with like.
But like the problem is, and there's a huge problem with every one of these is, if you haven't noticed, we bring up a solution, and then we immediately talk about the flaw to that solution. Like there is a problem with every single one of these ideas that it's only going to alter the way teams are tanking.
Well, hey, here's my thing. Yes, there's going to be flaws to every idea. The one that I like the most is kind of similar to what you just said with the PWHL, Kyle, where they stop the odds, and then of the lottery teams, it's reverse, like whoever wins the most and stuff like that. Like you have to win enough games to like have good odds. Like it's kind of similar to what we do in our fantasy league actually, where the consolation winner, gets the best odds. That's basically what you're doing in this situation where you have your bad teams, you have probably some sort of penalty for the teams that are barely on the fringe, and then you gotta like win, and then you establish a new standing. Yes, that does change when tanking happens. It doesn't necessarily solve the problem, but what it does solve the problem of is it makes it so that it's more entertaining for us to watch. Because now all of a sudden it's cool to watch Kings versus Pelicans because the winner of it might get AJ DeBansta. Like that's cool. And
or Daryl Peterson or for half a game for 82 games
for a load managed game. But yeah, so it's like that doesn't necessarily solve tanking per se, but it makes the league more entertaining to watch, which is honestly what Adam Silver is most worried about, is that this has become such a headline that nobody wants to watch the NBA anymore. Because his solution in the past couple years, because he hated tanking, and then he stopped talking about it because he was like, you know what, maybe if I sweep it under the rug and not talk about it, it won't be a big problem. And then this happened.
And then it ballooned in his face. Yeah, just like
terrible. And now he has to do something. And it's like, hey, I would like to watch Jaren Jackson Jr. and Larry Markkinen on the court together. And like I would like to watch that. I want to watch Keontae George dominate games. And so, hey, sure, they tanked. That's what they want to do. That's their prerogative. Great. Now they're going to go play some basketball games and they're going to win. That's cool. And
I mean, sure.
So it's not a solution to tanking, but it's a solution to the entertainment problem of the league, where you're not watching a bunch of nobodies in NBA games at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Especially after the Super Bowl, because that's after the Super Bowl is when the NBA becomes popular again. So it's like that's when you want people to be watching, and you want
that's when you need eyes the most. Yeah.
Well, especially it's like if I'm a casual and I turn on the game, and maybe I probably wouldn't know about all these new rules or whatever. I turn on, I see that the 11 seed is playing the 12 seed, and it's like an awesome game. I'm like, whoa, the NBA must be an awesome league if the worst teams are playing great, and so it just elevates the whole product.
I agree. Sure. I think if there's one solution, it's the PWHL, and like we talked about.
That is one of the ones.
But I think there is more upside to that than there is not. I mean, it seems like it's realistically the only way forward. Now, to be fair, I don't know if we're going to get this level of tanking again in the near future. This is a very, very historic draft class. I mean,
this happened like 7 years ago with the DeAndre Ayton, Luka Doncic draft, and then it happened before that with the Lonzo Ball, Jason Tatum draft.
Mm-hmm. Wait, okay, sorry, side piece. You just mentioned this. Do you want to guess how many lottery picks from the 2018 draft are still on their original team?
0.
Isn't that so crazy? On the team that drafted them. They are not on their original team that drafted them. None.
Porter Jr. was in that draft, right? He just got moved.
I think so. Yeah, and Trae Young, I think, was the final piece of that.
Yeah.
Wow. Sorry, just wanted to bring that up.
It's just the way the NBA is now.
Josh Jackson in that draft? Oh, wait, no. Josh Jackson was in the one before. Josh Jackson isn't even in the league anymore. I don't think. He played with Memphis for a second. Anyway, what were you saying, Brennan?
No, I was just saying something.
Okay.
I forget.
Here's another thing that I'll say. This is another one that is pitched that I like, which is lottery odds are allocated based on 2-year collective records. So it's like, great. The Pelicans are going to have really good lottery odds because they actually suck. The Kings are going to have really good lottery odds because they actually suck. Even though they're like 12 seed and then 14 seed, they are actually bad. Even though they're trying to be, that's better than Indiana. Yeah, don't shake your head, Mr. Indiana.
Yeah, see, the Indiana Pacer fan is gonna cry wolf for that.
And yes, because the Pacers, but like. You lost your best player due to injury. It's not like, I
understand it's not their
fault. They were taking a little bit. Tank and get another player now.
They are taking a little bit, but still, it's like whenever the Lakers, in the 80s, were able to add James Worthy after they just won a title because of a trade they made. Like, whenever the Celtics add Jason Tatum with those Isaiah Thomas squads, and then they're able to elevate after trading for Kyrie. What the heck? Now you're having that happen inherently in the league because somebody gets injured. Like that's just not a solution. That would have happened to the Warriors a few years ago if James Wiseman was worth anything.
Question. Can I throw something out there? How would that? So if I am the Pelicans, I'll use the Pacers as an example. If I am the Pacers this year and it's a 2-year thing, so it's taking into account this current year and the previous year is what I'm assuming, right?
Sure.
So would the draft the year after now do that year's draft and this year's draft? Is that how we would be doing that? Is that how that would be figured out?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know, like, because I think that would really screw a team like the Pacers.
Exactly. That's exactly what it's doing.
Would that be the point of it? Is to alleviate.
I think that's one of the points of it because people are like, Indiana's about to be really good. But honestly, they shouldn't care that Indiana's about to be really good. Indiana has a lot of potential as a basketball market.
Exactly.
But inherently, it's like, if the Lakers, LeBron retires, Luka Doncic gets hurt for a season, Lakers draft number 1 pick, and now number 1 pick is playing with Luka Doncic. That's what the league doesn't want to have.
I mean, Korey, I've seen crazier things. Look, I've seen a team trade Luka Doncic and get the first overall pick because of it. So
I've seen that too. And guess what? That team is still not any better because Kyrie Irving is hurt and Anthony Davis got traded.
Because Anthony Davis played under 30 games for the Mavericks.
You should.
In a calendar year.
Let's not beat a dead Maverick here, okay?
I get it because their logo is a horse. Because their logo is a horse. That's the joke.
It's funny,
he thinks he's funny. Thinks he's
Mr. Funny guy. That's clever. I don't know if that was on the fly or not, but it was clever enough, I think. But,
all right. Well, anyway, do we have anything else we want to talk about with tanking? We've actually been talking for an hour.
It was just crazy.
I don't know.
I mean,
I think we spent 20 minutes on hockey. unbelievable. After not talking about hockey,
Let the tank roll on.
After not talking about hockey at all.
We could go back to hockey, I guess. I mean,
no, let's not. After not talking about hockey for the entire season,
we do have to go back to hockey.
20 minutes. What?
Why?
Because we have an announcement to make.
We're not.
That's right. We do have to go back to hockey. I have to lock in on my hockey knowledge over the next week.
Not really. I mean, you only need to know about two teams.
Yeah. One team that I know and one team I don't give any damn about. But okay, Brennan,
you're gonna have to start to. No. So yeah, I guess this will kind of wrap up the podcast with this. As we said at the beginning, we do have a big announcement coming up. We kind of teased it a little bit on social media, not really. So if you didn't see it, no worries. But this is really the big one. We're gonna start to hype it up this week. Banner ball.
Hey, I teased it on a LinkedIn post.
You did. You did do that. And that was awesome. I was so happy to see that LinkedIn post come across my feed. Like, you don't even know. I love LinkedIn. The fact that I got to see that, it just made my day. Like, honestly.
LinkedIn.
I'm always locked in for LinkedIn.
Where are you?
I think he's changing into his
Yeah.
I'm not there right now, but I kind of have it on a little bit. You can make connections. Anyways, as you can see, Kyle putting on the Pens jersey. Bannerball is doing our first ever piece of long form YouTube content. That's not a podcast. It's a YouTube video.
Hey, what about the live stream?
Not live. We're not doing.
But what about the live stream?
That's not long form. That's a live stream. This is our first. We're making a YouTube video.
Hey, Brennan. That's if I don't beat you to it. If I don't beat you to it with a video essay, because I'm gonna start releasing them. I'm so busy though all the time.
We'll see. Yeah, he's too busy. But no, we are me and Korey. Sorry, Kyle, the actual Penguins fan in the room.
I can't believe you're not coming, Kyle.
I still have class, unfortunately, so that is
at night.
That is a reason why I can't. On a Thursday, look, I'm not driving there and then back and then there.
Brennan will drive you, and then you'll have to find a way.
Even if I'm not paying for the gas, I'm unfortunately.
How about this, Kyle? Brennan will drive you, and then I will drive you to Morgantown, West Virginia.
That was he's gonna have class in Morgantown, West Virginia on Friday.
See, that makes sense for you because that's like an hour drive, an hour and a half drive.
Go find a lecture somewhere and go take a class at WVU.
The class I would be missing is not I cannot be virtual, so unfortunately I am not going to be there. But
rip Kyle, but we'll keep you in spirit. But anyways, Korey and I will be going to PPG Paints Arena on March 5th to vlog our experience at the Penguins versus Buffalo Sabres game that will be taking place. It is also a very special night for me, and I'm sure Korey too, because it is Margaritaville night at PPG Paints Arena. We will be getting Pittsburgh Penguins themed Hawaiian shirts as long as we make it to the game in time. So,
I'm actually kind of jealous now.
I am very thrilled about this.
It's going to be a special night.
It is going to be a great night.
Are they going to serve margaritas at PPG Paints?
If they, that's got to be part of the video.
Dude, I'm literally going to be 21 by then.
A $25 margarita.
That's the only way I'm making it through a hockey game.
Let's go.
Hang on. Korey, you went to a Penguins game against your St. Louis Blues in January 2021, I think.
Yeah, and I had a drink to get through it. You know what that was? Some weird brand of water called Deja Blue. Deja Blue water got me through that. So I need a good drink. We're going to be Deja Blue or it'd be a margarita.
No, but all right, we're going to get through it. It's going to be awesome. I will say I have not seen a Sabres win in Pittsburgh ever in my life. And I grew up in Pittsburgh, so every time I go, they just have not won in Pittsburgh. For whatever reason.
Last time you went to PPG Paints?
November.
What for?
Penguin Sabres. And the
Kyle, when was the last time you went to PPG Paints?
Christmas break, I think.
What for?
Penguins game. I mean, I could probably. It was it was that Sunday against the Lions. I think that was Montreal. I think that was the team they played.
Okay, ask me.
When was the last time you
went to PPG Pates Arena?
Like October for the Sabrina Carpenter concert.
That's a good reason to go.
Yeah,
it was a lot of money. These tickets better be a lot cheaper than that, Brennan.
Oh, they will. Get student rush. We'll get it. But no, we're gonna have a great time. We're gonna be reviewing everything at PPG Paints. I'm excited. This is actually a big game for both teams because finally the Buffalo Sabres are in a legit playoff race. They are in a playoff spot as of today. And they will be for the game, I think, mathematically as well. So it's a must-win game for both sides. Is more specifically for the Sabres because the Penguins are kind of locked into the Metro right now. There's really no other teams surrounding them. The Sabres got a bloodbath in the Atlantic, but it's going to be such a fun time. Korey and I are going to be there, just vlogging the game and reviewing PPG Paint. So stay tuned for that. Korey, you had some other announcements about the video essays.
Oh, I'm not announcing, but one might drop soon.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
I've got a few planned. I've got one I want to do about tanking. I've got one I want to do about the Stars. There's one I want to do about nicknames. I want to do one about playoffs versus regular seasons. I've got plans. I've got big plans.
I think I have one, since I'm like kind of taking over the short form content, I guess. I have one video idea, which I may or may not, depending on how dark it is outside, record on my walk back. But sneak peek, because you'll probably see it either today or tomorrow, maybe even before this goes up. It's going to be about stadium food.
Okay, that's pretty sick.
Just get ready for that. I have a little bit of a rant to go on about it. So
Kyle, before we close the podcast today, because we have been rambling for a bit, if I'm doing long form, Brennan's doing short form, what are you gonna do? You gonna run some Instagram stories? You gonna ever take off the Twitter account? You were supposed to be the Twitter guy.
We have a Twitter that never gets used.
I think it's fair to put that to rest. I personally would like to be a host on a sports game show host. You know what I mean? On like a show. I don't know, something like some sort of thing.
No, that sounds fun.
Maybe if I get something done before spring break, we can do that. I don't know.
Content up. I can edit. We can do stuff.
You could even do that like without us. Like you could go like to events and like find people and be like, hey, let's do this quick 5 rounds.
I would want it to be like a Jeopardy sort of deal, but for sure.
That sounds fun. Okay, Kyle.
Yeah, I would enjoy doing that.
Let's get Banter ball going. Like, what are we doing here? Let's
busy
go.
Though,
let's roll.
We'll see.
Let's get going. Banterball Sports. In case you didn't notice, I did rename the YouTube to Banterball Sports because we're doing more than just the podcast. But that is going to do it for this edition of the Banterball Podcast. I have nothing else to plug because we just plugged just about everything. But you can follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, I don't know, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. Brennan, Kyle, anything?
What Korey said.
Peace out.
What Korey said. Go Pens.
Go Sabres.
Let's go Mountaineers.